The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2, in conjunction with Colfax High School, presents Viking pregame. A look at today's Colfax Vikings boys game. And now, Viking pregame.
Good evening and welcome to the NLWN2 studios. Rick Olson here, and tonight the 1-0 Colfax Vikings, following the postponement of Tuesday's game with Amory, will try to remain unbeaten as they host the Bloomer Blackhawks. Tonight's game is the season opener for the Blackhawks, who would like to deal with some unfinished business following last season's 17-6 record, and they're bowing out of the WIAA regional tournament with an overtime 52-49 loss to St. Croix Central. The Vikings are looking to build upon November 22nd's 45-40 victory over the Thorpe Cardinals. Now, coming up in this edition of Viking Pregame, we'll take a look at tonight's matchup between the Bloomer Blackhawks and the Colfax Vikings. Then we'll get Coach Noel's perspective on tonight's game in Coach's Corner. Following that, Jay Fall and Dan Petshaw will bring you all the play-by-play action of tonight's game. So it's time to get ready for some exciting high school boys basketball. All that coming up right after this brief timeout. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
Multiple studies have shown that marijuana can slow both driver reaction and response time, which can be really dangerous. He's here. He's here. Wait. What? I can't drive. Why? My. Oh.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame, where we're getting ready to bring you all the action of tonight's game between the Bloomer Blackhawks and the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings are eager to get back into action following the postponement of Tuesday's game with Amory, and are looking to build on November 22nd's 45-40 victory over the Thorpe Cardinals. Now, in that game against Thorpe, the Vikings were led in scoring by 6-foot junior Blake Johnson, who hit 2 3-pointers and a field goal and went 4 for 4 from the free throw line for 12 points. He was followed by senior Nick Jensen and junior Elijah Ensminger, who each added 10 points. Leading the way rebounding for the Vikings were Blake Johnson and Colton Hoffman, who each pulled down 5 boards, along with Aiden Fisher, who grabbed another 4. Also capturing 3 rebounds each were Elijah Ensminger and Nick Jensen. The Bloomer Blackhawks play in the West Clover Belt Conference. Now, tonight is their season opener. They very much want to build upon last season's 17-6 record and advance further through the WIAA playoffs following their heartbreaking 52-49 overtime loss to the St. Croix Central Panthers in the WIAA Regionals. Now, they'll need to replace 4 players who graduated from last year's team, including their leading scorer in Connor Crane, as well as their top 3 rebounders from last season. To do that, they do return their second highest scorer from last season in 6'1" junior forward Dominic Schwarzenberger, who averaged nearly 13 points per game, including a 24-point performance in that WIAA regional loss. They also returned 6'4" senior forward Evan Rogie, as well as 6' junior guard Blake Bleskacek. Now, last season, those two combined for nearly 9 points per game. Rogie and Schwarzenberger are the returning leading rebounders for the Blackhawks. Last season, those two rebounded for 7 rebounds per game. Now, coming up next, following this timeout, we'll get the coach's perspective as we chat with Viking head coach Mark Noel on Coach's Corner. You're tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
You are loved. You are valued. You are resilient. You got this.
You're there for them. We're here for you. Find free care guides at aarp.org/caregiving.
Time now to see what the coaches have to say. It's Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. And now, Coach's Corner.
Once again, we're talking with Viking boys head coach Mark Knoll. And Coach, it looks like Mother Nature played a dirty trick on us on Tuesday when she forced the postponement of the Vikings game with Amory. However, back on November 22nd, the Vikings tipped off the 2022-2023 basketball season on the right foot with a 45-40 victory over the Thorpe Cardinals. Your comments about that game?
Well, with the Thorpe game, I was happy for our boys to get the W, to get the win, to start off the season. They played really well as a team. I mean, we held our opponents at 40 points, and we had 3 players hit double figures, so that means we were playing great team basketball.
Now, in that game back on the 22nd, a real pleasant surprise had to be the performance of your 6-foot junior guard, Blake Johnson. Last year, he scored a total of 3 points in 12 appearances and ended up leading the Vikings on the 22nd with 12 points. Your comments about the growth of Blake Johnson?
Yeah, obviously I witnessed that growth from Blake over the summer. He played AAU basketball. He was at all of our open gyms. He was at all of our workouts. He's somebody that's put in a lot of time into his craft. I was very happy for him to score 12 points, but I think even bigger than that was that he guarded Thorpe's best player and held him to 10 points and did a great, outstanding job against him.
Now, it's got to be frustrating for a team to get ready to play a game only to have snow and all postpone that game. Now, I would imagine that you're pretty fortunate to have a game scheduled only 2 days later, so the rust doesn't get a chance to develop. Your thoughts about all that?
Yeah, number one, obviously we can't do anything about the weather. It's out of our control, and you just kind of roll with the punches. And I think these kids are used to that with COVID when that went down, and these kids have all lived through that. So they're used to just having to turn the page and go on to the next thing. So, missing the Amory game, but we'll play it later this season. Won't affect us because we have, we've had a practice to get ready now for Bloomer and get ready for the Blackhawks.
And as you mentioned, tonight the Vikings do take on the Bloomer Blackhawks, a team that defeated the Vikings 81-35. What can you tell? That was last year. So what can you tell us about this year's Blackhawk team, and what special challenges do they present?
They have 3 starters back from their top 7, so they have 3 kids back from their top 7 year. They graduated a fair number of kids that were 6'6", 6'5", 6'3", so they graduated some big kids. They have a young man, Dominic, I think is how you pronounce his last name. He'll be their leading scorer. He'll be their go-to player this year. He's a junior. He's about 6'3". So I think it should be a totally different game. Last year they caught us off guard. We were not ready for a 1-3-1 zone, and they were so big we had a heck of a time scoring.
Well, Coach Knoll, good luck on tonight's game. Hopefully the Vikings can dust off the snowflakes and keep the winning going.
I appreciate it, and thank you very much, Rick.
You've been listening to Coach's Corner, where they look at tonight's game from the coach's point of view. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
Dear moms and dads, what you have achieved here today is going to help us and our futures. It is why we are coming up on stage to collect your diplomas.
It's true.
Mom, we love you always.
Everything I do.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Welcome back to Viking Pregame. The Vikings are looking to get back into action following their snowed-out game with Amory and remain unbeaten after their 45-40 win over the Thorpe Cardinals back on November 22nd. On the other hand, the Bloomer Blackhawks would like to get this season off on the right foot and improve on last season's 17-6 record to take care of some unfinished business. So the stage is set for some exciting boys high school basketball, and we'll have all the action for you right here on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV. Now, in just a moment, we'll send it out to Colfax High School, where Jay Fall and Dan Petschow are ready to bring you all the action of tonight's boys' game between the Colfax Vikings and the Bloomer Blackhawks. That's all coming up next. You've been tuned to Viking Pregame on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
You've been tuned to Viking Pregame with a look at today's Colfax Viking boys game. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned, coming up next is live Colfax Viking basketball. It happens to everyone eventually. Your computer goes on the fritz. Fear not, Slayton's Technology Services can help. When your computer decides to not cooperate, it can be very frustrating. Let Slayton's Technology Services keep you from wanting to drive your computer right off a cliff. Slayton's Technology Services supports business of all sizes. They offer assistance with managed anti-malware, encrypted email, fast tech support, data backup, and recovery, and more. Call Slayton's Technology Services at 715-864-2833 and get the IT help you desire. Slayton's Technology Services is the official IT service for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Colfax Viking basketball is on the air.
Vikings steal the pass. This is Charlo driving down the left side of the lane, puts it up. It goes in and he draws the harm.
The Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 proudly present today's Colfax Viking boys varsity basketball game.
Down to Jensen and on the right baseline, puts it up and in. This is what you were talking about a couple days ago, Dan. Jensen's got to put those shots up, and he's doing it.
Join us as we head out to the gym for today's Viking basketball.
Good evening. Welcome to Colfax High School, where the Colfax Vikings are ready to take on the Bloomer Blackhawks in Colfax's second game of the season, where this is the opener for the Bloomer Blackhawks. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound, plus they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Viking basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV2, and Viking TV. Well, Dan, tonight the Colfax Vikings got an extended break. How do you think that weighs into tonight?
Yeah, they're going to get a couple pieces back to the puzzle to get Charlo back, which will be a big help. They got that little extra rest, a little extra practice, and they're going to have to get ready to play against this Bloomer team.
You bet. Earlier, we watched the Bloomer Blackhawks JV down Colfax, 59-43. The Vikings climbed back into it through the middle of the game, but as things moved on, things tightened up, and Bloomer went ahead as Colfax was in the double bonus, and Bloomer took advantage of that.
Yeah, number 5, Jaden Hartman kind of led the team for Bloomer, and we were talking about him that they're going to live and die by the three of this Bloomer team, and they lived by it tonight. They got the win.
Yeah, we'll see if the varsity team does the same thing. Coach Knoll of the Vikings mentioned having to deal with a 1-3-1, and we'll see how the Vikings take care of that tonight. But
yeah, is it new coach for Bloomer now?
Well, yeah, he's. I believe he's a new coach for Bloomer, but certainly not a new coach. Greg Van Grunsven is the head coach for the Bloomer Blackhawks. He has spent quite a few seasons with Eau Claire Memorial in the Big Rivers Conference, so I had called some games with him and the Old Abes and the Mustangs and other teams in the Big Rivers Conference. So this will be interesting to see him bring, his program up here and see how his team handles it.
Yeah, my alma mater, Eau Claire Memorial, so it'd be kind of nice to see a basketball coach. I didn't have him. I had Coach Kazmarek, but it's a little connection there.
You bet. We're a few minutes away from the start of tonight's game, and we'll bring you the starting lineup and then the action. The Colfax Viking boys and the Bloomer Blackhawks will return after this on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN TV, and Viking TV.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Dairy State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Saturday, December 3rd, when the Vikings will host the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking pregame at 1:20 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Saturday, December 3rd.
Welcome back to Colfax High School boys basketball. The Bloomer Blackhawks are in town. And let's give you the starting lineups as we have them here. For the Bloomer Blackhawks, they will start 6'5" senior forward, wearing number 3, Evan Rogge. And the man that Coach Knoll mentioned quite a bit, Dominic Schwarzenberger, is another forward. He's a 6'3" junior. Jake Blaskacek is a 6'3" junior guard that is in the lineup, along with 6'5" senior number 32 Michael Taylor and 6'3" sophomore number 34 Colin Crane. For the Colfax Vikings, hoping to keep their unbeaten streak alive, starters tonight are number 3 Kyle Irwin. He's a 5'10" senior guard. Elijah Ensminger, a 5'9" junior guard, number 10. Another forward, Jack Charlo. He's a 6'4" senior wearing number 12. Blake Johnson is at the guard position, a 6' junior. And Nick Jensen, a 6'3" senior, rounding out the Colfax starting 5, wearing number 42. JV game, the Bloomer Blackhawks won that one by a score of 59-43. Varsity coming in with a good solid 45-40 win over the Thorpe Cardinals, who they struggled with last year.
Yeah, and we got some new players on the Colfax team that moved up, like Blake Johnson and Aiden Fisher. We might see a little bit of Logan Schwartz come off the bench. He's played JV. And, we were talking about this earlier, that Blake Johnson was kind of a dark horse last week, and everybody kind of went, who's this kid shooting all this, making them all outside? So that's going to be that's going to be a big key for Colfax tonight, that inside-outside game. You know, they can use Jensen inside, and then if he gets bottled up, you know, they can throw it out to Blake, or Ensminger is always available out there on the line along with Mitch Medine.
So I know Coach Knoll is very happy about one thing in the extra time. It gave Jack Charlo a chance to heal up. He was not well on the night of the Thorpe game, so he is going to be back after he and all the other members of the team got a little extra practice, a little extra rest. Tune up before the Colfax boys head to Mondovi next week, Tuesday, to start the Don St. Croix season.
Yeah, that's always a tough matchup. You know, you got to watch them play. A lot of those guys play football for Mondovi, and we'll see a lot of those guys on the basketball court too. And yeah, they're never a slouch.
Yeah.
So that'll be a good game.
So both teams are off to the side here, and we are getting ready for the national anthem and the reintroduction of tonight's starters. Jay Fall, Ann Petchow, and Chris Olson on the camera tonight here on NLWN2 TV.
Just about 15 seconds or so to send it down to the scorer's table. For the national anthem.
Would everyone please stand and able, remove your hats and place your hand over your heart onto the flag as the national anthem is played.
Both teams over at their benches, getting ready to be introduced as we get underway here. Game 2 of the Colfax boys season.
Colfax Viking. Introducing the starters for the Blackhawks. Senior number 3, Evan Cody. Junior number 4, Dominic Schwarzenberg. Junior number 24, Jake Wisconsin. Senior number 22, Michael Taylor.
Bloomer Blackhawks, coached by Greg Van Grunsven.
Johnson.
And the Colfax Vikings, coached by Mark Knoll. So as we set up here, the Bloomer Blackhawks in black jerseys, trimmed with white and orange, and the Colfax Vikings home white. Red numbers and trim. So we'll have Jack Charlo going up against Evan Rogge for the opening tip. And here we go, sportsmanship read by Kyle Irwin, and he got right back on the court. And we're ready to go. Tipped around and controlled by the Vikings. As Irwin takes it up high on the left side. Drives the right side of the lane. Gives it to Ensminger. Back out free throw line right. Shot by Charlo. Rolls out and it is rebounded by Michael Taylor of the Blackhawks. Bloomer up the floor. Laskachik down inside to Schwarzenberger. And he drives up in the land of the Giants with the Vikings there and doesn't get it up. Quickly up the floor goes to Ensminger. Down underneath and left side, good by Jack Charlo. Vikings on the board, 2-0. And the ball ditched back in the lane to Taylor, and it's snatched away by Rogge of the Vikings. Rogge up at the top. Drives the left side, makes a move, pitches it back out to Jensen. Back up high to Ensminger, looking around, has an open shot from about 10, rolls out, rebounded by the Blackhawks, Rogge. Up on the left side, it goes to Blaskachik, down underneath on the left side. Schwarzenberger tries to go down the lane. Blake Johnson giving him lots of problems on defense. Over to Rogge, back out on top, three-pointer, rolls out, big rebound, pulled down by Johnson of the Vikings. Blake drives left side of the lane, tries to make a turn, and he draws a foul on the way in.
Colfax looking to push early in this one. Transition ball is already, tempo is way up.
First foul of the game. Irwin. Right inside the end line to Charlo. Charlo gets it back from Irwin. Back between the circles. Ensminger. Back down in the corner. Man-to-man ties things up in the middle. Shot up on top to Irwin. Rolls out. Rebounded by the Blackhawks. Schwarzenberger. Tapping his head and tossing it to the left to Blaskachik. Back up at the top of the wheel, three-point attempt, rolls off the back, no good, tipped around, ball is loose, picked up by Ensminger, and he drives for the layup and draws a foul. 15:45 remaining. Colfax leading Bloomer 2-0. Elijah Ensminger on the free throw line, first one up, and good. Looking for the second one, sends it up around the rim, out, and Bloomer pulls it down. Colin Crane comes up with it. Schwarzenberger brings it up, down halfway to Michael Taylor. Top of the wheel to Blaskachik, back out on the free throw line right to Rogge. Blaskachik drives, stopped up by the Vikings. Shot pulled up from 12. By Schwarzenberger, rolls out, and the Vikings get the rebound, and still the Bloomer Blackhawks are scoreless. But they get the steal on that one. Colin Crane underneath, down deep in the far corner to Rogge. Comes up free throw line right, and we'll have a foul underneath. It's going to be charged to Nick Jensen. That's his first of the night, and the Vikings' first. .15:04 First half, 3-0 Vikings. Hansen into Schwarzenberger, and in there with a rebound and up for the basket, Michael Taylor. Driving left side of the timeline. Charlo ditches it off in the corner. Ertzminger, a beautiful three-point shot from the near corner. Vikings bringing it up the floor. Schwarzenberger off to his left to Zeke Strand now in the game. Strand top of the key, flips it back out to Schwarzenberger. Laskachik now trying to work the left side. Colfax with a good sturdy defense here. Schwarzenberger near side. And a 16-footer bangs around a bit, doesn't go in. And we will have a foul.
That was number 12.
That's going to be charged to Zeke Strand. Vikings bring it up the floor. Irwin, top of the key, drives right side, turns to make a shot, batted away by Ruggie, and he misses the layup, and Irwin will come back down to get it for the Vikings. Far side, Johnson. Johnson up to Irwin. He'll hold it out on the left wing, drive it into the center. Back in between the wheels, back out to Ensberger. And underneath, basket up and in for Nick Jensen. Schwarzenberger bringing it up for Colfax. Out to Rogge. Back and forth on the right side. Colfax up 8-2 over Bloomer. From the far corner of the lane, Schwarzenberger puts it up. It doesn't fall. Trying to save that ball is Irwin. And he manages to roll it over to Charlo. Charlo back up the floor to Ensminger. And he'll put it up from the free throw line. Rolls out. No good. Rebounded by Michael Taylor of the Blackhawks. 12:55 first half. 8-2 Colfax. Top of the key, Taylor down under it and then back up on top. And he takes a few steps. Shot falls short. And he is going to go to the free throw line for a couple, as the foul is charged on Blake Johnson. That's Blake's first, Colfax's second. First shot up, swishes through. Dominic Schwarzenberger. Now checking into the game for the Vikings, Mitch Medine and Colton Hoffman. And Schwarzenberger has one bang around and down. 8-4. Colfax leads Bloomer. And we have a timeout on the floor. We'll be back.
Are your animals feeling a little under the weather? Give the nice folks at Colfax Animal Hospital a call. Bruce Buckley is just what the doctor ordered. In fact, he is the doctor, and he's ready to help. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Give them a call at 715-962-3380.
.12:41 remaining first half. Colfax 8, Bloomer 4. Colfax boys basketball. Vikings will bring it up the floor. It goes into Ensminger. Taking up nice and easy on the left side. Top to the free throw line extension back in the middle. Tosses it out to Charlo. Come up to get it, Hoffman. Back out on top to Ensminger. He'll look at one. Now he'll take it from the top of the key. No good. It's rebounded by Zeke Strand. Schwarzenberger will lead the charge up there. Over to Rogge. Free throw line left. Down to the left side. Drove it in. And Evan Rogge dragged his foot.
Yeah, Bloomer trying to go fast and got caught down below and picked up the travel.
12 minutes remaining in the half. Ensminger down near corner. Ensminger give and go to Medine. Back to Ensminger. Flaring out the middle, driving in for the shot. It stayed up there too long, but Nick Jensen gets it. He'll reload, no good. And coming down with it, Colin Crane. Down free throw line left, it goes to Zeke Strand. Strand to Crane. Crane driving right side, flips it out far sideline to Rogge. Rogge trying to get it in. Pass stolen by Nick Jensen. And scurry for the ball on the floor, and that the ball went out of bounds, I guess, off of Colton Hoffman. Now checking in for the Vikings is Eli Ralph. He's a 6'1" junior. Into the backcourt, it goes out to Schwarzenberger. Anders Michelson. And then Schwarzenberger, he'll drive in for the layup and put it in. And it tightens up, 8-6 Colfax. 11 minutes to go first half. Jensen on the line. Looking to toss it, he'll go out to Hoffman. Back in the middle to Ensminger. Ensminger taking it from the center circle, and it looks like we're going to have a foul charge to Dominic Schwarzenberger.
Yeah, I thought he got the steal.
That is his second.
Yeah, he thought he got the steal.
Inbounds to the Vikings, Ensminger. Ensminger, free throw line left. Dribbling between his legs, rolls it off one of the Vikings and into Jensen. Jensen puts it up, draws a foul, and he'll go to the free throw line. Nick Jensen pulled that ball out of traffic, put it up there, and they were all over him. Jensen finishes the three-point play, and the Vikings have an 11-6 lead. Anders Michelson goes up on the left side to Strang. Ball gets loose, scurry for it, tied up in the lane, and it will be Bloomer's ball. Back underneath their own basket. Taylor's going to throw it in. Count starts, bounces it into Strand. Knocked out of bounds for the Vikings. Bloomer going to try it again, bounce it in, same place, Michelson. Michelson doubled up on in, tosses a pass out to Blaskacek. He has to go out to the timeline to get it. Back out to Strand. Strand out to Michelson, and driving in on the right side in traffic. And there's going to be a foul charge to the Vikings, so those points are going to be good.
Hope if I turn my mic on. Yeah, Colton Hoffman turned his body. He had position, turned his body and got the block instead of the charge. He just had to stand there and take it.
Bloomer's closing the gap, 11-8, but Colfax still has the lead. Colin Crane going to that's Michael Taylor. Doesn't finish off the three-point play, no good. Medine will bring it up the floor for the Vikings. Looks from the free throw line. Will toss it out from the left side. Free throw line extended to Charlo. Back to Ensminger, and a sky shot. Wow. Great three-pointer. Vikings stretch it out 14-8. Blackhawks up the floor. Anders Michelson. Back out to Taylor. Taylor, top of the key, goes off to his left to Michelson. They're trying to drive it down. Vikings doing a great job of bottling up the inside. Top of the key, they're going to try the 3-ball, and it's nailed by Jake Blaskachik. 14-11, Colfax over Bloomer. On the free throw line, the pass goes to from Charlo. Down into Ensminger. Up atop, Medine looks at one. Having a few ball handling troubles. Will give and go to Ensminger. And the Vikings will try to set it up. Up high, Hoffman. Hoffman trying to get it inside. The ball's knocked down by the Blackhawks and taken. Up the floor for Bloomer Michelson. And he skies one and misses everything. 8:30 to go, first half, 14-11, Colfax. Got some more substitutions here. Mason Yarrington into the game for the Vikings. And he'll get the inbounds throw from Blake Johnson. Johnson up high on the left side. Colton Hoffman driving toward the free throw lane, dishes in the far corner to Mason Yarrington. Out to Ensminger. Back out. Yarrington takes the shot. Oh, just hits the rim and bounces out. Blackhawks will bring the rebound up the floor. Michelson down on the far side to Rogge. Michelson. Other side to Taylor. Trying to work it around that left side. 3-point attempt, no good, and it's rebounded by the Vikings. Coming up with that one was Blake Johnson. Looking at another 3-ball was Ensminger, and he has it tied up and stolen by Anders Michelson. He'll drive it to the top of the wheel and dish it off to Taylor. Back around to the near side to Rogge. Looking for somebody inside, and the Blackhawks having trouble getting there. Now driving in is Blaskachik. He misses the shot, and loose ball by Ensminger. Now it's stolen back by the Blackhawks. Rogge driving in, layup on the right side is good. And it is a 1-point Colfax lead, 14-13 over Bloomer. Under 7 minutes to go in the first half. Vikings trying to work it in. Up on the left side to Colton Hoffman, top of the key, another big 3 by Ensminger, doesn't go. Rebounded by Kareem Ba. Left side, Rogge. He'll drive it into the corner, try to come back out. Down to Michael Taylor, free throw line right. Back up to Rogge. Driving in, Rogge, and he bowled over a couple of the Vikings. Player control foul.
That's Evan Rowe's second.
That is the team's 6th for Bloomer. So that is going to have the Vikings on 1-1 here.
Yeah, just 6 minutes left.
Charlo, far side, goes up to Yarrington. Yarrington around the rainbow to Irwin. Irwin driving at the free throw line, looking for somebody to go to. He'll go back out on top to Johnson. Johnson out to Irwin, down in the far corner. Now down into Jensen. Jensen back out on top, top of the key. Irwin bounds around, no good. Rebounded by Zeke Strand. Bloomer up the floor with it now. 5:45 left in the first half. And the pass goes into Blaskachik. He's too far under, goes to the far corner. Rogge looked at one, decided nope. Michelson on the right wing will dish it back to Blaskachik. From the free throw line, no good. Ball bouncing around, and Bloomer coming up with it. Back to Strand. Strand misses a shot. And it went out of bounds off of Strand.
Yeah, good hustle by number 42, Nick Johnson. Bloomer had the dead rights there on the baseline, and he got all the way over to get the block and the turnover.
The Vikings are scrapping well.
Yeah,
under both sides.
They're getting back on defense.
Blake Johnson with the ball or he gets it back from Charlo. They go back and forth on the left side, waiting for somebody to get under there. Jensen with a screen up from the free throw line, no good, rebounded by Bloomer. Schwarzenberger will bring it up the floor and wait for an opening for a right side layup. It goes in and he draws a foul.
Yeah, good move by Dominic Schwarzenberger to get the end one.
That foul, I believe, was charged to Blake Johnson. That's his second. And the free throw's good. Johnson's going to come out. And Irwin will bring it up the floor for the Vikings. Irwin. Up off in the left to Aiden Fisher now in the ball game. Give and go out to Irwin. Irwin caught at the free throw line, but is fouled by Bloomer's Anders Michelson.
His first.
Kyle Irwin, one of Colfax's seniors on the free throw line. 4:27 to go, first half. And first free throw is good. Bloomer 16, Colfax 14. And second one up is good. We're tied at 16. 4:25 left, first half. Moving the ball down along the left side, Zeke Strand. Strand dishes it to Schwarzenberger. Bloomer, patient out on top. Colfax doing a great job of keeping things full and underneath. Back up on top, Strand. Strand gets it back and trying to steal it away is Kyle Irwin. And that's going to be a jump ball, and Irwin got it back for the Vikings. Possession arrows headed their way.
Yeah, good job by number 3, Kyle Irwin, to get his hand in there and get the jump ball.
Kyle Irwin brings it up. Up on top to Jensen. Pass it out to Hoffman. Hoffman drives the lane. Up over 2, Blackhawks puts it in. 18-16 Viking. Down on the right side. Strand gets it back. Schwarzenberger airs it from three-point land. And now Bloomer up 19-18.
Schwarzenberger's got 10 already.
Irwin to Jensen. Back up to Fisher. Fisher, three-pointer. Big rebound, rolls out no good. Dominic Schwarzenberger has the ball. He's going to try to take it coast to coast, and he was fouled on the way in.
I think it's on the floor.
It's Irwin's first foul. 3 minutes to go, first half. In a back and forth first half. Inbounds. Goes back out on top to Schwarzenberger. Three-point attempt. And rebounded by Jensen. Up the floor for the Vikings. Hoffman, and now three-point land. Oh, rolled and out. Oh, tough shot. It was a good one, but wouldn't fall. Strand up in the middle, and now a three-point attempt. And reload up and in for Zeke Strand. These guys are not afraid to try it from the outside the arc. Doubled up again, breaking out of that Charlo, and can't get the shot to go. And the Blackhawks will have it again. Schwarzenberger. He'll get it back from Michelson. Back out. And a three-point shot by Dominic Schwarzenberger. Vikings return. Elijah Ensminger. Back out on top to Charlo. Charlo will look toward the corner, and actually, we'll call a timeout. 1:37 remaining first half. It is Colfax 18, Bloomer 24. You're listening to Colfax Viking Boys Basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2 TV, and Viking TV.
When you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it, rest assured, you can still get that meal by going to Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Mom's is open daily, serving breakfast and lunch, and don't forget dinner on Friday nights with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee is always hot, the breakfast is always delicious, and lunch will put a smile on your face and in your stomach. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub.
Welcome back to Colfax. Colfax Vikings boys trail the Bloomer Blackhawks 24-18. Vikings coming out of a timeout off Ensminger. Give and go to Charlotte. Nice layup in traffic. 24-20 Bloomer. Blackhawks with the ball up the floor. Colin Crane up on top to Michelson. Top of the key, down in the near corner to Strand. Strand looking around. He's got to go back in the center. Bloomer going to set it up again. Opposite corner this side to Bleskacic. Give and go out to Michelson. Michelson, short bounce pass to Strand. Now caught over on the far side, Bleskacic. Outside the arch left side, Crane. Crane drives in, has to pass it back out on top. 45 seconds left, first half. Looks like Bloomers content to be very patient and hold it for the last shot here. And the steal by Elijah Ensminger, going for the layup. Good! 24-22 Bloomer. A great steal and put in by Elijah Ensminger. Bloomer going to hold it again for another final shot attempt. Anders Michelson taking it in nice and easy. He's going to drive the right side, changes his mind, doubled up, puts it up from 10, miss. Ball gets loose, and that is the end of the first half. With the score, the Bloomer Blackhawks 24 and the Colfax Vikings 22. So stay tuned for halftime, and you're listening and watching Colfax Vikings boys basketball on Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
To get your lawn or garden to perform like you want, you first need to know about your soil. That's where Midwest Environmental Consultants can help. Their soil testing service can give you a complete rundown on your soil's nutrition and health. They test for nitrogen levels, phosphorus, potash, micronutrients, minerals, pH, and organic matter. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants put you in control of your soil's health. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. That's Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley.
Anderson Bridges, located in Colfax, Wisconsin, has been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. With hundreds of bridges supplied nationwide, we suspect you've crossed our path. It may have been on a pedestrian or bicycle bridge, or how about a snowmobile, ATV, or golf course bridge? Anderson Bridges is likely to have manufactured it. Founded in 1989, Anderson Bridges has been a family-owned company since its beginning and are proud to support the Colfax Vikings.
If I need a break, no,
Feel the beat of nature at a park or forest near you. Find a forest and music inspired by nature at discovertheforest.org.
Time now for Viking Halftime, with today's Viking profile and other halftime entertainment. That's coming up right after this.
Time now for Viking Profile, where we take a closer look at one of the Colfax Viking players. And now, Viking Profile.
Today on Viking Profile, we're going to get to know Aiden Fisher, and Aiden is a sophomore here at Colfax High School. Now, Aiden, we know you play basketball, but what are some other activities you do here at school?
At school, I think I messed up. I don't know.
Just study, right? Say yes, that makes the parents happy.
Yes.
Okay, see? All right. So when did you start playing basketball, and what kind of an experience has it been for you?
I started playing back probably in 3rd grade, I think, and it's always just been something for me to do and, like, occupy time.
So what's the most important thing you've learned playing basketball?
Friendship, I think.
Okay, and building good, strong ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're not playing basketball or you're not here at school, what are some things that keep you occupied?
I like to hunt and hang out with friends, and I do once in a while I'll go out and shoot, I can't think of it now.
But you go out and do stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, rapid fire questions for you. Pie, ice cream, cake, or cookies?
Pie.
Which kind?
Pumpkin.
All right. Your favorite color and why?
Orange. I don't know, I think I've always thought orange cars look cool.
Okay, orange cars look cool, and so you want orange for your favorite color. I like that. That thinking. I can understand how that works. Now, if you could have a superpower, what do you think that might be?
Probably fly.
Okay. Yeah, get up above everything from a bird's eye view. But of course, if you have that ability to fly, you have to have a superhero name to go with it. So what do you think your superhero name might be?
Fishman.
The Fishman, okay. And of course, then you'd be a flying fishman. Yeah, okay. Your favorite NBA team?
Bucks.
How about a college team?
Wisconsin.
All right. Is there a basketball player anytime through your career that's kind of inspired the way you play your game?
I like Russell Westbrook, actually. Back when he played for OKC.
All right. Now we're talking with Aiden Fisher on Viking Profile. And Aiden, what are your plans for after high school? I mean, you're only a sophomore, so you got time to change these.
Go to college and try to get a pretty good job that makes a good amount of money.
How about a shout out to the family?
Shout out to my mom and my dad and then sister and then my grandpa.
Very good. So when people come to Viking games and they want to find Aiden Fisher on the floor, what number are they going to be looking for, and where are they going to find you?
Probably in the corner shooting some 3 and number 4.
All right. We want to thank Aiden Fisher for joining us today on Viking Profile. Coming up next, more Viking Halftime.
You've been listening to Viking Profile. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
you're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular.
Welcome back to Colfax High School, where the Bloomer Blackhawk boys are a 2-point edge on the Vikings here at halftime. And Dan, how did we get to 24-22 Bloomer?
Yeah, here's the scores for the Bloomer Blackhawks. They're led by number 4, Dominic Schwarzenberger with 14 points, followed by Michael Taylor with 4. We have Jake Bleskacek with 3. We have Zeke Strand with 2 and Evan Rogue with 2. For the Colfax Vikings, their leading scorer right now is number 10, Elijah Ensminger with 9 points, followed by Nick Jensen with 5. We have Jack Charlotte with 4. We have Colton Hoffman with 2. We have Kyle Irwin with 2. And that makes 24-22.
Yeah, we talked about coming out of the JV game into this one, Dan, about Bloomer living and dying by the three-point shot. Right. And that seemed to be happening in the varsity game as well, because they were shooting a lot of three-pointers that got them back into this.
Yeah, right. They worked that perimeter quite a bit. Nick Jensen did a good job for Colfax underneath, and Eli Ralph came in and helped out, and kind of made them start shooting some outside shots, but they started hitting them, though, too.
Yeah, so. And Bloomer had to go out there because, I think the defense has been staunch for the Vikings tonight. They've really done a good job of bottling up the middle.
Yeah, Nick Jensen's all over the floor so far. For a big guy, he can get from block to block, the baseline. And they've tried to go inside, but causing turnovers is Colfax.
Yeah, very scrappy. All right, we're going the other way in the second half here. Bloomer's still in the black, Colfax in the white, and we're switching directions. So the Vikings will be going from left to right on your screen. Bloomer's going to start with the ball in the second half, and we're underway. Inbounds throw goes to Schwarzenberger. We'll dish off on the left side to Bleskacek, and they'll go down in the corner. Back out to Bleskacek. Ensminger trying to knock it away there. Drive it in, and the ball gets tapped. And trying to save it from going out of bounds was Bleskacek. But he ended up tight roping the sideline, and that's going to give it back to the Vikings. Colfax brings it up. Kyle Irwin tosses it out to Charlo on the far side. Up from the corner, it's Ensminger. Nice shot from 15. We're tied at 24, 17-22 to go in the second half. Right side, Rogge. Back out to Schwarzenberger. Halfway down to Michael Taylor. Taylor free throw line left, looking inside. And ball is stolen away by Ensminger. Ensminger has a clear shot, and the layup's too hard. Doesn't go, rebounded by Evan Rogge. And they are going to ask Evan if he needs to take a seat. No, sorry, check that. That's Ensminger. And he is going to tough it out, walk it off. In fact, he's going to be defending the point as the Blackhawks bring it up. Schwarzenegger. Back up on the left side to Taylor. Taylor out to Bleskacek. Three-point attempt. Hits the front rim by Taylor. It's rebounded by the Vikings, Blake Johnson. Johnson tosses it up the floor to Irwin. Back out on the far sideline to Charlo. He'll go underneath the basket too far, and it's taken away by Colin Crane of the Blackhawks. Back up on the left side, Michael Taylor, and now that one knocked down, stolen by Jensen. Jensen gets it to Charlo, layup around and down. 26-24. Colfax takes the lead back.
Jack Charlo has 6 points.
Blackhawks with the ball out on the far side. Michael Taylor that gets it out to Schwarzenberger, and he'll put it out from three-point land. Bloomer 27, Colfax 26. Give and go out to Irwin. Back top of the key. Three-pointer. Ensminger! 29-27 Vikings. Evan Rogge. Back out to Schwarzenberger. And he'll go in with a layup on the left side with lots of traffic on it. Ensminger out to Irwin. Back out to Charlo. Charlo from 16. Hits the front iron. Reload underneath. Wide open. Jensen for the bucket.
Good look by Blake Johnson.
31-29. Colfax with the lead. Free throw line left, Michael Taylor. Taylor out to Rogge. Over on the far side to Schwarzenberger. Dishes it back to Rogge. Three-point land. Missed right into the hands of Blake Johnson. Johnson up the floor for the Vikings. Gives it to Charlo. Johnson gets it back up from three. Front iron, no. Rebounded by Bloomer's Michael Taylor. And Bloomer wants a timeout as Dominic Schwarzenberger dribbles over to the side. Colfax 31, Bloomer 29. You're watching Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN 2 and Viking TV.
Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax has just what you need when you have that craving for a home-cooked meal the way Mom used to make it. Mom's is open from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily and until 9 on Fridays with a complete breakfast menu. Lunch includes sandwiches, salads, wraps, and burgers, along with Mom's comfort food favorites, and don't forget dinner on Fridays with Mom's famous fish fry. The coffee always hot, the breakfast always delicious, and lunch puts a smile on your face. 225 Bremer Avenue, Colfax. Call 715-962-4617. That's Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax.
31-29 Colfax as we come out of the timeout. Leading the Vikings in scoring, Elijah Ensminger. He's got 14 of Colfax's 31. And not a surprise, Dominic Schwarzenberger for Bloomer has 18 of the Blackhawks' 29. And the ball stolen away by Ensminger. Beautiful ball handling. James at home! Jack Charlo. And the Blackhawks travel with it. Nothing energizes a gym more than a dunk. And Bloomer wants to talk again. 14-12 to go, second half. Colfax leads 33-29. You're watching Colfax boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2 TV and Viking TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
Welcome back to Colfax. Jay Fall, Dan Petraw, and Chris Olson bringing you an exciting back and forth boys basketball game. Colfax is holding on to a 4-point lead, 14-12 to go here in the second half. Colfax is going to bring it out. Kyle Irvin's going to throw it in to Blake Johnson. And Irwin gets it back. And the Vikings are going to set it up. Ball dished off in the far corner. Back out on top in the center, Johnson. Back over to Ensminger. Ensminger into Jensen. And Jensen fouled from behind by Michael Taylor.
Yeah, not a lot there, but enough of a push by Michael Taylor.
That's the first foul of the second half. Blake Johnson back out to Ensminger for three. 36-29 Vikings. Down in the far corner, the Blackhawks holding the ball up high. That's Taylor. Taylor up to Schwarzenberger, and he'll nail one from three-point land. 36-32. Neither team afraid to put it up from outside the rainbow. Irwin to Ensminger. Back out to Johnson. From the left side, Ensminger down underneath to Jack Charlo. Nice layup on the baseline. 38-32, Colfax. Schwarzenberger, near side being watched by Ensminger. Back out to Taylor. To Rogge. Back out on the left side. Bloomer being very patient, looking for a good time to go in or the shot. Looking at one was Schwarzenberger, decided not, all the way the other side to Rogge. He'll drive the baseline, put it up from 8, bounces around, no, rebounded by Ensminger. Irwin in the center to Ensminger. To Johnson. Ensminger back. Johnson comes to get it. Back out to Irwin. Irwin trying to bowl it down in the far corner. Knocked out of bounds by Bloomer.
Yeah, the pace has slowed down a little bit here in the second half.
Ball hand to Ensminger. You'll get it into Irwin to put it in play. Irwin gets it back. Ensminger pass to him, stolen away by Schwarzenberger of the Blackhawks. Nice defense, but going up Schwarzenberger anyway, and he'll manage to draw a foul.
Foul's on number 3, Kyle Irwin. His second.
One foul apiece as far as teams go. First free throw up and in. So a very clean first or second half of two teams playing good defense. That one bangs around and out. No good. Jack Charlo will pull it off the rim. Irwin, top of the key, drives the right side, and he will draw a foul on the way. That's charged to Jake Blaskachik.
His first.
Irwin looking, alley-oops it out on top to Ensminger. He manages to haul it in before it crosses back into backcourt. Irwin driving again, going to go up around a bigger man, falls short, gets his own rebound, and is fouled. Going to get it. That one's going to be charged to Jake Blaskachik.
Second smallest guy in the court, and he's working the post. Kyle Irwin.
Well, check that. It looks like the scoreboard says Evan Rogge. That's his third. Ball goes out on top again and having a leap for it. Ensminger pulls it in and will set it up. Ensminger out to Irwin. Line down the right side. Johnson back to Irwin. Up from three-point land around the rim and out. Rebounded by Zeke Strand. Dominic Schwarzenberger across the timeline. 10:50 remaining, second half. Colfax up by 5. Over on the far side, Rogge. Back into Schwarzenberger. And foul's going to be called. It's going to go on Elijah Ensminger. Check that, Blake Johnson. Third foul for him. That's the second team foul for the Vikings. Back out Schwarzenberger, up from the corner, puts it in.
He's got 24.
Vikings, Irwin, give and go to Medine. Jensen trying to break free, back up on top, Ensminger. Ensminger up from 17, no good. Jensen back out on the rebound to Medine. Medine for three, nails it. 10 minutes left, second half. Colfax 41, Bloomer 35. Anders Michelson feeds Rogge. He'll wait, go up, puts it in, and draws a foul.
Also be on Nick Jensen.
Yep,
Nick Jensen.
that is his second. 3 team fouls apiece. On the free throw line, Evan Rogge. And that shot missed, and pulling down the rebound and stolen away. Bloomer takes it back. Irwin back up, or check that, that's Rogge. That doesn't go, rebounded by Medine. Medine called for the travel.
Oh, the crowd wants a hold on 14. Anders Michelson, but they ain't gonna get it. They're gonna get a turnover.
Strand throws it back into Jaden Hartman in the ball game now for Bloomer. On the far side to Strand. Strand top the key to Michelson. He'll drive in, pull back, take a quick look, and back up to Strand. To Rogge. Strand, Rogge. Down underneath left side, Hartman. Then Rogge's going to take another crack at it. Player control foul. Managing to get in position was Elijah Ensminger, and he held strong. Got bowled over, and that gives Rogge his 4th foul. Vikings to bring it up the floor. 4-point lead, 41-37 over Bloomer. Top of the key, Ensminger. To Charlo. Ensminger will dribble it back out to the center circle. Now he'll drive the left side, pop it up from the corner, no good. Rebound, tipped, ball still loose. Getting over there to get it, Jaden Hartman for Bloomer. Hartman will dish it up to Strand, and Strand will put it up on the free throw line. He misses it, and it goes to Charlo of the Vikings. Medine, back out on top to Charlo, looking at one Ensminger, and he's going to slow it down, set it up. Back out on top, Mitch Medine. Out to Fisher. Give and go to Charlo. Into Strand, oh, misses a layup. Jaden Hartman will end up with a loose ball for Bloomer. Coming up on 8 minutes left in the half. Schwarzenberger drives the right side of the lane, puts it up, and he is fouled on the way in. That one is going to be called on Elijah Ensminger. That is Elijah's first foul of the game.
Yeah, good job by Bloomer to get to the baseline and go to the line.
First one up in for Schwarzenberger. 25 points of hit for him. 25 of the 38.
Yeah, he's holding his team together right now.
And that second one doesn't go, and tied up Medine and Schwarzenberger. Arrow's going to the home team. Colfax gets it back. Out of the backcourt, Mitch Medine. Medine in the center to Fisher, back in. Trying to go up, Jensen. He's called for traveling.
Yeah, good defense by number 32, Michael Taylor, for Bloomer.
Jaden Hartman bring it up nice and easy for Bloomer. Back down to the left side to Ba. Ba to Schwarzenberger. Give and go to Hartman. Hartman to Taylor. Laskacha comes back out to save it, and they go to the other side to Taylor. Taylor up to Schwarzenberger. He'll pop it up from three and swishes it in. And we are tied at 41. 7 minutes to go in the second half. Medine, top of the key, left side to Charlo. Charlo drives on the left side, trying to steal it away was Schwarzenberger, but he ended up knocking it out of bounds. A little oops, yeah, I did that smile. Inbounds throw high into Ensminger, and we have a scurry for it. It's going out of bounds off Bloomer. And a timeout on the floor, 6:51 to go second half. We're tied at 41. You're watching Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
Are your pooch's proportions putting on pounds? Or is your kitty's constitution constantly complaining? Well, stop by and see the friendly folks at the Colfax Animal Hospital. Dr. Bruce Buckley and his staff will be happy to help you get your family friend back on the road to healthy living. That's the Colfax Animal Hospital. Call them at 715-962-3380.
As you check names off your gift-giving list, Dairy State Bank encourages you to shop local as much as possible. The reasons are countless. For example, local businesses create 2 out of every 3 new jobs in the U.S. each year. There are times you could save a few cents by ordering online, but when you shop at a local store, you could be saving your community. Shop local for the holidays. It's more important than ever. Dairy State Bank. Banking on relationships. Member FDIC.
Colfax 6:51 to go second half. We're tied at 41. Colfax Vikings boys and the Bloomer Blackhawks. Blake Johnson to toss it in. And Kyle Irwin. Irwin out to Charlo in the corner, driving from the free throw line. He's called for traveling.
I'm not really sure what that call was. He did a little crossover.
Yeah.
We got called for travel.
Jaden Hartman give and go far side to Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger will drive in on the right side, doubled up on, shot missed, rebounded by Jensen of the Vikings. Ensminger quickly up the floor on the far side, dishes it back out to Charlo. Charlo stopped. He'll go back out on top to Irwin. Irwin drives out to Jensen. Jensen 16, good! And the Bloomer Blackhawks bringing it up the floor. In the middle, it's Schwarzenberger. And he will leap with a pass into Michael Taylor. Up high on the far side, Kyle Irwin.
Oh, we got a foul on Ensminger. That's his second.
Jaden Hartman brings it up. Rogge, free throw line left. Laskacha, Rogge, Hartman. Bloomer around the horn up on top. Hartman takes it back to the timeline. Down to Ba. Back in the middle to Blaskocic. Three-point shot. Hartman clears everything. Trying to get it back into Ba. Ba with a layup missed. Reload left side. Good by Dominic Schwarzenberger and fouled.
Right now it is all Dominic Schwarzenberger for Bloomer. He is all over the court, getting open, getting rebounds, getting shots off.
Dominic Schwarzenberger, 31 points tonight. Wow. 46-43, Bloomer, 5:05 left in the second half.
I'm running out of spots on my sheet already.
Irwin up into Jensen. Jensen back out to Charlo, lets it go, missed, rebounded by Dominic Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger goes in high, and we're going to have that foul called on Jensen.
Tried to take the charge, and Dominic just kind of went from the side. I think Jensen gets the foul.
That's Nick's third foul. And it puts Schwarzenberger on the free throw line, and he misses. And they're going to wipe up some water off the floor. Join us on NLWN TV and the Northern Light Webcasting Network on Saturday, December 3rd, as the Viking girls will host the Baldwin-Woodville Blackhawks as part of the Western Wisconsin Girls Basketball Classic here at Colfax High School. Live coverage will begin with Viking pregame beginning about 1:20, and that'll be followed by all the live play-by-play action. Second free throw goes in, and Bloomer is up by 4. 4:38 remaining, second half. Kyle Irwin. Irwin out to Ensminger. Three-pointer bounces off big. Schwarzenberger comes up with a rebound, and he'll bring it out of the backcourt. Looking to the left side, he'll feed it off to Raggi. Raggi will drive in, off the glass and in. Leaping layup, 49-43, Bloomer by 6. Coming up on 4 minutes left, Kyle Irwin at the top of the wheel, up out to Johnson. And Johnson has the ball batted away, and he's fouled in that process.
Bloomer still has fouls to give.
Vikings will bring it out underneath their own basket. Irwin into Charlo. Charlo turned around up from 8. He is fouled.
Foul should be on 22, green ball.
Jack Charlo looks skyward. First one up, no good. Charlo again. That one doesn't go either. And Kyle Irwin brings it off on the rebound and tosses it over to teammate Strand. Strand up to Hartman. Blaskocic back out to Raggi. Ball is stolen away by Jack Charlo. Layup is good. Brings the Vikings to within 4. Now Hartman pressured in the backcourt. He's got to get rid of it pretty soon. Gets it across the timeline, and as he does, steps on the sideline.
Got good pressure by Colfax.
And the official having a discussion over there with Greg Van Grunsven. Meanwhile, Colfax will bring it in. Back out to Ensminger. And Ensminger fouled as Jaden Hardman took a pretty strong poke at the ball. So that is Hartman's first foul, but that is the 7th foul for Bloomer. So we got 1 and 1. First one up and in for Elijah Ensminger. Vikings creeping back in, 49-46, 3:09 to go. Second quarter. Second one good as well.
Ensminger is 19.
Blackhawks back out to Hartman. Hartman's going to now try to get it back in on the other side this time. Pass is tapped, and we've got a push in there, looks like, against Kyle Irwin. That's Irwin's third foul, and that is 8 for Colfax. So both teams in the bonus. Dominic Schwarzenberger. First one up and in. Dominic Schwarzenberger has 33 of Bloomer's 50 points. Rolled around and out. It's rebounded by Nick Jensen. Up the floor by Irwin. Irwin to Jensen, waits, holds it, gives it to Colton Hoffman. Hoffman up from the right side, good. 50-49, Bloomer leading Colfax by 1.
Colton Hoffman has 4 points.
Colfax trying to put the defensive pressure on as Rogge gets the ball. Rogge dribbling it around Schwarzenberger. Back out to Blackhawks. Halfway down to Rogge. He'll go for a layup. Beautiful block by Jack Charlo. Elijah Ensminger. Just across half court. Driving in up the center, pops it up from 12, it's good. Colfax takes the lead back 51-50, 1:48 to go, second half. Hartman between the wheels will drive down to the right side, put it up, no good, rebounded by Jack Charlo. And Mark Noel wants a timeout. It was called by Elijah Ensminger. 1:29 remaining, second half. Colfax boys 51, Bloomer 50. You're listening and watching Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2 and Viking TV.
If you've been admiring the freshly groomed look of a baseball field, or the stunning appearance of a golf course, remember you too can have along with the same beauty by simply calling Midwest Environmental Consultants. Their professional lawn care experts can bring your lawn to its full beauty and appearance. Call Midwest Environmental Consultants at 608-468-2067. Let Midwest Environmental Consultants help make your lawn the showplace of the neighborhood.
Join us on NLWN2 for exciting Colfax High School boys basketball.
This is what we came in for!
Our next game will be on Tuesday, December 6th when the Vikings travel to Mondovi to take on the Mondovi Buffaloes. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN2 begins with Viking pregame at 6:50 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2 on Tuesday, December 6th.
Welcome back, Vikings with the ball, 1:29 to go. Fisher to Irwin. Irwin doubled up on. And the Vikings take another timeout.
Yeah, just 30-second timeout. Colton Hoffman got caught over in the corner there, and good call by Coach Snow to just settle it back down.
Start making your plans to tune in to either the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV for our Christmas gift to you. 2022, we'll be bringing you the finest in Christmas-themed old-time radio programs. That's Christmas Eve, beginning at 7 p.m. on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. Jay Fall, Dan Petro, and Chris Olson with you from Colfax. We've got a barn burner here, 1:20 to go in the second half. Colfax boys 51, Bloomer 50. Charlo's going to throw it in, and he'll toss it to Irwin in the backcourt. He'll bring it out as the players spread out. Charlo out to Irwin.
Colfax going to be patient. See if we can get Bloomer to follow.
Irwin out to Ensminger. A minute left. Jack Charlo tosses it over to Ensminger. Vikings handling the ball well, protecting it as they're running down time. They pitch it down to Irwin. Irwin goes in, comes back out. Inside to Hoffman. Back out to Ensminger.
Bloomer's going to have to follow here pretty soon.
And he does. So that foul charge to Anders Michelson. That is his second, the 8th foul for Bloomer. So Elijah Ensminger is going to shoot 1+1. One is good, +1 coming. 52-50, Colfax leads Bloomer, 32.1 seconds left in the second half. And the second one's good as well. Colfax with a 3-point lead. They fill up the backcourt with the Blackhawks into Ba. And we have a full timeout called by the Bloomer Blackhawks. 30 seconds left in second half. It is Colfax 53, Bloomer 50. You're watching Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2 TV, and Viking TV.
Hi, I'm Crystal, one of Santa's elves. Santa wanted to talk with you about a special program coming up on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV. But as you can see, he's pretty busy right now, so we better not disturb him. So I'll tell you what's up. A little earlier, Santa and I got together and picked out some of the very best holiday-themed old-time radio programs, and we're going to present them to you during Santa's flight on Christmas Eve. So tune in to the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service or NLWN TV while Santa and I bring you the best in old-time radio. It all starts at 7 p.m. on Christmas Eve. I'll see you then.
Welcome back to Colfax. We've got a tight one going on here, 53-50. The Colfax Vikings boys have a 3-point lead. Bloomer with a lot of 3-point shooting capability. Colfax defense, tough. Moskachik into Hartman. Hartman flying up court. Top of the key, he'll pitch it back to Schwarzenberger. Schwarzenberger goes around. Now Bloomer going to try to hold it for one, it looks like. Schwarzenberger pops it up, and the shot is missed, but reload up. That one missed as well. Jensen rebounds, protecting the basketball. Ensminger in the backcourt, and he is fouled by Jake Moskachik. 2.7 seconds remaining second half. Colfax with a 3-point lead, 53-50 over Bloomer. Elijah Ensminger on the free throw line to try to put this away for the Vikings. 1+1, that is the 9th team foul on Bloomer. First shot up, good. Colfax now has a 4-point lead with 2.7 seconds remaining. Up, around, and out. Ball's tapped out of there, and it's rebounded by the Vikings. The Colfax Vikings hold on to win an exciting one, downing the Bloomer Blackhawks in their season opener. The final score is Colfax 54 and Bloomer 50. Now we invite you to stay tuned for Vikings postgame. Tonight's Colfax High School basketball game is brought to you by the Colfax Animal Hospital. Let Dr. Buckley and his friendly staff take care of your pet. Dairy State Bank, where they're banking on relationships. Midwest Environmental Consultants, soil testers for the Chippewa Valley. Anderson Bridges, who have been manufacturing prefabricated steel truss bridges since 1989. Slayton's Technology, IT provider for the Northern Light Webcasting Network. Mom's Restaurant and Pub in Colfax. Comfort food the way Mom used to make it. And Fit Fam Nutrition of Colfax, with drinks that taste as good as their names sound. Plus, they're healthy. Be sure to thank these fine sponsors for bringing you Colfax Vikings boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN 2, and Viking TV.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckle tight, both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand, trying to text somebody back, because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Thank you for joining us for Colfax Boys Basketball. This has been a presentation of the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN2. Stay tuned. Coming up next is Viking Postgame, where we'll take a look back at today's Colfax Viking Boys game.
The central and midwestern U.S. averages more than 850 tornadoes each year, and lately, the number of floods has been rising in the region too. So chances are, there will be more twisters and floods.
Welcome back to Colfax High School, where the Colfax Vikings boys have just downed the Bloomer Blackhawks 54-50 in a very exciting game. And in just a few moments here, we'll have Mark Knoll, the head coach of the Colfax Viking boys, joining us. Mark, a barn burner.
Holy cow! I'm going to need a shower as much as the boys are. I'm really proud of the kids. That's number one. Just proud of them. Great effort. Even when we had that lead, then Bloomer made their run. The game of basketball is about runs. They had their run, and then we made our run towards the end. And I think that comes from confidence within the kids, within themselves, because they know that each other is going to make the right play. They're not worried about who's going to make a play. So proud of the kids. We lost by 53 or something like that last year to Bloomer. So to turn around and win this year is amazing.
Wow, great. We talked before the game. And you mentioned being concerned with Schwarzenberger, and he scored most of them for them, but your guys still held him and the rest of the team well. I mean, they had to count on the three ball a lot.
I mean, like I told you, Dominic is a heck of a player. He's smooth. He can hit the three. He can hit the pull up. He can get to the rim. He has all three phases to his game. He's a heck of a player. I thought we stepped up when we needed to.
You sure did, and your defense was tough throughout most of the game, or you had the middle bottled up really well.
Yeah, I thought we did. I thought the boys did a great job of just containing and plugging up that lane and making them make perimeter shots. Dominic made them. Some other kids made some shots, but ultimately we rebounded well. We were the smaller team, but I think we out-rebounded Bloomer tonight.
Yeah, you sure did. That was probably one of the most impressive parts of the game.
Yes, I love that part, and I love just the toughness of our kids, and they made some big plays. I can't say enough. I love it. I love this group of kids. I think we got great kids.
Yeah, this is a great start. Now you head into the conference season.
Yep.
On the road, Mondovi Tuesday night. What do you expect in that one?
Well, Mondovi, is coming off their state championship run where they took second place. So they had one less week of basketball, but I'm sure they're going to be ready. They got a lot of experience coming back. Faulkner and Rudd are heck of players. Faulkner is probably one of the best athletes in the conference. So we'll have our hands full, stopping him. And then we play Durand after that. Durand's got 3 starters back from their team. And then we got Chippewa Falls McDonald. So we got a big week next week. But we're only looking at one game at a time.
All right, sounds good. A great one tonight, Mark. And thanks for coming up and talk with us. Congratulations on a great win.
Thank you for all you guys up here doing your work. And all of you watching at home and stuff like that, appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Mark Knoll, the head coach of the Colfax Vikings. The Vikings held all on to a 54-50 lead and held it and pulled this one out by that. We'll be back with how that all fell together. The numbers. You're listening and watching to Colfax Viking boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLW2, and Viking TV.
Join us at the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV for exciting Colfax High School girls basketball. Our next game will be on Saturday, December 3rd when the Vikings will host the Baldwin Woodville Blackhawks. Live coverage on the Northern Light Webcasting Network audio service and on NLWN TV begins with Viking pregame at 1:20 p.m. That's live Colfax Viking girls basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network and NLWN TV on Saturday, December 3rd.
Glad you joined us tonight, and this was a great one. Colfax 54, Bloomer 50 in boys basketball. Dan Petchow, how did that all fall together?
Yeah, scrambling here to get some numbers, but here's the scores for the Bloomer Blackhawks tonight. They were led by number 4. Yeah, getting some things straightened around here. Number 4. Dominic Schwarzenberger with 33 points, followed by Taylor with 6. We had Blaskacek with 3, and we had Zeke Strand with 2, and we had Evan Rote with 6. For the Colfax Vikings, they were led tonight by Elijah Ensminger, and he had, if you bear with me just a second, $24 points. Followed by Nick Jensen with 9. We had Colton Hoffman with 4. We had Mitch Medine with 3. We had Kyler Irwin with 2. And that's no more, 54-50.
So, yeah, the Vikings really turned around from a season ago with these guys. And, I mean, they beat a very good team.
Yeah, I think the boys are starting to figure out what Coach Knoll is looking for. And they're buying into a system. And I think it's really starting to show after, year number 3 now? Starting unit number 3. So, yeah, good grit by Colfax tonight. Ensminger had a big game. Nick Jensen had great defense on the inside. Charlotte was everything that he was promised, and and that's how you get the win.
You bet. A team effort, and it was a great team effort tonight. Once again, the final from Colfax, 54-50. Colfax beating Bloomer. Bloomer now 0-1 on the year, and the Colfax Vikings boys 2-0. So we hope that you will tune in on Tuesday night. We will follow the Colfax Viking boys throughout their season. Next is Mondovi Tuesday night, starting with Viking pregame, and we hope that you'll join us for that. Thanks a lot for joining us tonight. We enjoyed bringing this to you. For Dan Petchow, Chris Olson, I'm Jay Fall. Thanks a lot for joining us. You've been watching Colfax Vikings boys basketball on the Northern Light Webcasting Network, NLWN2, and Viking TV.
You've been listening to Viking Postgame, a wrap-up of today's Colfax Viking boys game. You can catch Colfax Vikings games by tuning in to any of the Northern Light Webcasting Network outlets. This has been a production of the Northern Light Webcasting Network.